We are back with another YouTube video. I know it's been like what? It's been a year since I've reacted. Well, since my first video came out, it's been a year and some days. But today, we're going to react to the most brutal tortures done by women. I mean, not done by, done on women. And looking at the first one coming up, I don't think it's going to be too pleasant. Oh my god. Okay.
Horrible torture methods that have been used on women throughout the ages.
No, bro, we're not gonna be doing this. I have my Wi-Fi.
Women have been subjected to various methods of torture, and some of these torture methods will give you chills just thinking about them. Imagine how these women experienced it. In this video, we will highlight some of the ugliest methods of torture that were practiced primarily on women. Spanish donkey. This tool dates back to the Middle Ages, and it was used to slowly and painfully cut a woman's body in half, starting from her genitals. It consisted of a pyramidal wedge with a sharp end. Women would be forced to ride its sharp end so that it would penetrate between her legs, and sometimes some weights were tied to her legs to force the sharp end of the peg to immerse deeper and faster into her vagina and start splitting her in two.
So you telling me that? No, hold on. No.
That it would penetrate between her legs, and sometimes some weights were tied to her legs to force the sharp end of the peg to immerse deeper and faster into her vagina and start splitting her in two.
She got split in half from her. Look, you want to see that? No, I don't want to see that. Low key though, she got split in half from riding a what is it called? What was it called?
The peg to immerse deeper and faster into her vagina.
That would be so painful. Oh my god. Just imagine you're riding a peg and it's splitting you in half. I don't see why one would want to experience that, but oh wow. This is
vagina and start splitting her in two. Breast ripper.
I could really be that peg for real.
This was a tool consisting of two large symmetrical prongs, usually heated before use.
I'm sorry, a breast ripper?
This was a tool consisting of two large symmetrical prongs, usually heated before use. Its main purpose was to tear the breasts of single mothers or cheating wives off their bodies. Scold's bridle.
So because you cheated, you had to get your breasts ripped off? I mean, if I was a woman, I would not make it back in the day. Because to get your breasts ripped off because you cheated, or you were it was because you were a single mother,
was to tear the breasts of single mothers or cheating wives off.
Single mothers? Just because you're a single mother, you have to get your breasts ripped off? That's kind of crazy.
Their bodies.
I wouldn't survive that.
Scold's bridle. For the medieval man, the simplest way to get his wife to stop constantly nagging him was to place her in a scold's bridle. Scold refers to a woman accused of excessive chatting, gossiping, or simply complaining too much. In that age, gossiping was feared to be the work of the devil. The first recorded use of the device goes back to the 16th century.
Sometimes just shut up. You wouldn't get this on you. Just be quiet. Don't speak. Simple as that.
The bridle was an iron mask locked over the head of a woman. Sometimes, spikes would be inserted into the mouth and placed just above the tongue, making it impossible for the woman to speak without immense pain. However, it's argued that the torture of the scold's bridle was primarily psychological. The woman was publicly humiliated as she was shame-paraded through the town wearing the bridle, while people cursed and spat at her.
Next time, just shut
cutting the woman in half with a chainsaw.
Oh my god.
You like to play a game?
Another one. You're gonna split them in half. That same part. Okay, say, ooh. ooh, that's bad. But you just gotta think sometimes. I don't think. No, you don't just gotta think sometimes. But like, don't you think the dudes who were sawing them in half was hard while they was doing that? Cause I mean, butt booty naked getting sawed open. I mean, you're gonna tell me they weren't hard? I'm just saying.
The game? Let's hang you upside down and start cutting you in half at the genitals. During the medieval ages, this technique of torture was used as a cost-effective approach to inflict the most amount of suffering for the least amount of work. All you needed was a two-person saw, strong pair of biceps, and a lack of a moral compass. Women convicted of witchcraft, adultery, or blasphemy were hung upside down with their legs spread wide. The victim would usually be conscious as the saw ripped through their body, hung upside down
Witchcraft, adultery,
with their legs spread wide.
Witchcraft is not real. Witches are not real, bro. That is all fake, bro. Witches are not real.
The victim would usually be conscious as the saw ripped through their body because
Oh, never mind. You can't even see. Never mind.
of all the blood that flowed to their head. The operation might take hours until the executioners finally cut through. Pear of Anguish. This name says it all. The Pear of Anguish, named for its resemblance to the
Pear of Anguish. How does it say it all? Where is that supposed to go, bro? Where is that supposed to go?
fruit was a cruel torture device used during medieval times. This metal fruit was divided into 4 petal-shaped segments that opened up when a corkscrew lever was turned. The primary victims for this evil fruit were women, who were usually accused of witchcraft or had an abortion. The Pear of Anguish was inserted into their vagina and would be gradually cranked up, tearing apart the woman's reproductive organs. Some other uses of this instrument were torturing.
So you're telling me they got that thing and they stuck it up there and cranked it until the productive organs in there just failed or got blown up? What did he say? I'm not going back. But until they got blown up or something? That's... I mean... Can't sit here and tell me they weren't hard about doing that either. I'm just saying.
Torturing homosexuals, and it later was modified to be inserted into the mouth of individuals accused of heresy. Same concept, but instead of
Heresy.
sexual organs, it expanded to destroy the jawbones of the victim. Burning witches. Death by burning was a classic form of capital punishment, reserved for women who were suspected of witchcraft, treason, and heresy. This was popular in England from the 15th through the 18th centuries. Lucky victims would have passed out due to smoke inhalation, but if they made it through, they would suffer an agonizing death. First, they would writhe in pain as their epidermis cracked open. Then, the fire would burn through their fat. The only relief came when the fire damaged the nerves in the skin where the victim could no longer feel pain.
I feel like getting burned by fire is like
Stoning to death.
way worse than drowning. Like real talk. Cause like you're on fire, but like the pain with that is like insane. Like I know with drowning, like you're under the water and like your lungs are filling up with water and then they explode and then you die. But like burning is like a whole nother thing. Like I can't swim, so I just fit the whole stereotype. Black people can't swim. Still, I can't swim, so I'm not even getting close to water. So I feel like drowning for me is not really gonna happen. But burning in a fire, that could happen any time of the day, anywhere, anytime. Like, no, I feel like burning would be like way worse. I don't know. That's just my personal opinion.
This punishment is considered one of the oldest and most primitive, where a deep, narrow hole is dug. The woman is then tied up and inserted into the ground up to her neck, exposing only her head. Then a crowd of male executioners throw rocks at her until she dies. Although this punishment was applied to both men and women.
I'm sorry. So you're telling me you're gonna bury me with only my head exposed? You're gonna throw rocks at my face? You think I'm finna allow that to happen? No. I'm not finna allow that to happen. I'm sorry. It's not happening. Not even sorry. Like, no. I feel like actually
women,
getting buried alive would
women
probably,
still face this punishment to
probably
this
be the
day,
worst
as the
death ever. I'm not gonna
punishment of stoning to death re-emerged in Iran in the 1980s, and it was applied to women accused of sex outside marriage. Unfortunately, 15 countries still apply this brutal punishment, including Nigeria, Sudan, Pakistan, and others. Sexual torture and rape. Rape has been used as a method of torture against women throughout the ages, as it was used to extract information from detainees and prisoners. Amnesty International discovered that rape was routinely used on women as a means of getting them to confess their crimes in Mexican prisons. Republican marriage.
That's insane. That's insane, bro. So they raped them. They raped them to get them to talk about their crimes. Honestly, I feel like tickle torture would probably be a better suitable option for that. Not rape. That's kind of not. Honestly, if I was a woman and 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 I was one of them who was getting raped, I'm letting that happen. I ain't no snitch. We don't snitch. I ain't gonna snitch. I'm gonna just let that happen. Like, yeah, nah. I don't care if it's 5 big buff dudes. Come get me. Like, I ain't snitching. We taking it. Taking the whole thing. I'm done.
Sounds lovely, but it's far from it. Imagine being stripped and tied to a naked man and then thrown in a river to drown. That is Republican marriage. This method of torture was used primarily on nuns during the Reign of Terror during the French Revolutionary War. The iron chair. This chair was used for the first time during the medieval ages, where the victim was tied and forced to sit on this chair, covered with hundreds of sharp nails for long hours until she bled to death, and sometimes fire was lit under her so she could have the full torture experience.
Those don't even look
Catherine's wheel. It's a heinous punishment from medieval times. It was a large wagon wheel, usually covered in spikes. The unlucky victim would have their backs fastened to the device and then bludgeoned to death. Foot binding. For 1,000 years into the late 20th century, the biggest beauty standard for women in China was the small feet, which is why families bandaged the feet of their young daughters to keep them from growing, so that they could attract men from wealthy families, where girls' toes were smashed and then bandaged using silk cloth. Girls were also forced to walk on their broken feet to break the metatarsals. The ideal length of the foot at the time was 9 centimeters, and the foot of this length was called the lotus flower, followed by the foot that did not exceed 12 centimeters long, which was called the silver lotus. Female circumcision. Despite its barbarism, it is still practiced by many around the world, with the World Health Organization estimating that more than 200 million girls today have undergone this distortion. The goal of circumcision is to discourage the girl's sexual desire, as this process is applied to girls who are younger than 15 years old, so that the girl's clitoris and sometimes the small lips are cut from their vagina with a sharp tool, and in many cases, this process causes complications and infections, which ends with the girls either dying or being severely injured. That's a wrap for this.
Wow. Oh, wow. For the most part, these weren't even that bad for real, honestly. Like, I could survive them for real. But that's the end of the video. And I'm gonna catch y'all next time. This was really just a test run for real, honestly. See how this thing works. And this video might go out, but mind you, just a test run. Just testing it out. Testing the waters. Going for a little dip in the pool. Sticking my toes in. Even though I can't swim, so it's not the point. But yeah, that's the end of the video. I'm gonna see y'all next time. And stay safe. Don't put a firework on your head and light it and shoot it up into the sky. Yeah, we out.